Filipinos, particularly those belonging to indigenous Negrito groups like the Aeta, Ati and Mamanwa, are believed to be among the earliest inhabitants of the Philippine archipelago, arriving thousands of years ago. While their origins are not definitively traced back to Africa, some scholars suggest a migration from Southeast Asia, potentially via a human bridge during periods of lower sea levels. Modern-day Black Filipinos also include those of African descent, particularly from the African diaspora, resulting from historical interactions like the presence of enslaved East Africans brought by the Portuguese. Additionally, interracial relationships, especially between African American servicemen and Filipino women, have contributed to the Black Filipino population.
Black Filipinos, particularly those belonging to indigenous Negrito groups like the Aeta, Ati, and Mamanwa, are indeed among the earliest inhabitants of the Philippine archipelago. Historical and anthropological evidence supports the idea that these groups migrated to the Philippines from mainland Southeast Asia approximately 30,000 years ago during the Upper Pleistocene period, a time when lower sea levels created easier migration routes, possibly via a human bridge. These Negrito groups are characterized by their distinct physical traits such as short stature, dark skin, and curly hair, which early Spanish colonizers noted and from which the term Negrito was derived. However, despite superficial similarities to African populations, genetic studies reveal that Negritos have closer genetic ties to other Asian populations. Their unique traits likely developed over tens of thousands of years through microevolution while isolated in their particular environments. The indigenous Negrito groups are found throughout various parts of the Philippines, often in mountainous or difficult-to-access areas, and there are about 25 different ethno-linguistic subgroups. Their populations have declined over time due to factors like colonization, land dispossession, disease, and environmental degradation. In addition to these indigenous Black Filipinos, there are also Filipinos of African descent directly linked to the African diaspora, including enslaved East Africans brought by the Portuguese and descendants of interracial unions, notably between African American servicemen and Filipino women during the 20th century. Indigenous Black Filipinos are ancient inhabitants of the Philippines with distinct physical and genetic backgrounds tied closely to Southeast Asia. Their ancestors migrated from mainland Southeast Asia around 20,000 to 30,000 years ago during periods of lower sea levels. Physical similarities to Africans are due to convergent evolution in isolated populations, not direct African origin. Modern Black Filipinos also include descendants from African diaspora communities and interracial relationships. Negrito groups face challenges preserving their culture and population amid external pressures. This comprehensive view aligns with current anthropological and genetic research on the origins and identity of Black Filipinos and indigenous Negrito peoples in the Philippines. The human story of the Philippine archipelago holds many secrets. For ages, folks have wondered how people first arrived on these beautiful islands. What journeys did they take, and who were these early pioneers? This deep mystery sets the stage for a group of people who played a truly big part, though their role often gets missed. Meet the Negrito peoples, like the Aeta, Ati, and Mamanwa. These indigenous groups are widely thought to be the very first humans to step foot in the Philippines. Their history stretches back tens of thousands of years, making them the original guardians of these lands. They have seen the islands change and grow, adapting over countless generations. Understanding their history helps us see the rich tapestry of Filipino heritage, into their ancient beginnings, their important cultural gifts, and how they live today. We will see how these Black Filipinos shaped the Philippines from the start. The dawn of Philippine habitation, Negrito origins. Theories of Negrito arrival. Scientists have many ideas about when and how early humans came to Southeast Asia. Most theories point to the Negrito groups as likely being the first people here. Some believe they walked across land bridges connecting the islands during ice ages. These bridges appeared when sea levels dropped, making ancient journeys possible. Other theories suggest early people used simple boats, sailing along coastlines. This early seafaring would have let them cross smaller water gaps. Archaeological finds back up these ideas, showing human activity thousands of years ago. It seems they came in waves, settling in different parts of the archipelago over a long time.
Our genes tell a powerful story about where we came from. Genetic studies strongly support the ancient presence of Negrito populations in the Philippines. Their DNA shows unique markers, suggesting they broke off from other groups very early on. This makes them some of the oldest continuous populations in Asia. Language also gives us clues. Though many Negrito languages are now at risk, they share old roots with other regional tongues. These linguistic links point to their deep history and movement across the land. They are living proof of the first human footsteps in this land. Archaeological and anthropological evidence. Early human remains and artifacts. Digging into the earth can uncover incredible truths. Archaeologists have found ancient human bones and tools that prove people lived here long ago. The discovery of Calao Man in Luzon, though not definitively Negrito, shows humans were in the Philippines over 67,000 years ago. This makes the Philippines one of the earliest places in Southeast Asia to show human life. Simple stone tools found in various sites also tell us about early life. These tools, used for hunting and gathering, show how resourceful early settlers were. Their presence across different islands proves a long, steady occupation by these ancient groups. Paleo-environmental reconstruction. To understand early people, you need to understand their world. Scientists look at ancient plants, animals, and climate conditions from thousands of years ago. This helps them rebuild the old environment. Imagine lush forests, different wildlife, and changing coastlines. This information helps paint a picture of the conditions Negrito settlers faced. We learn how they adapted their hunting, gathering, and survival skills to these old landscapes. Their ability to thrive in these conditions speaks to their deep wisdom and connection with nature. The Aeta, guardians of the northern highlands. Ancestral homelands and migration patterns. The Aeta are the first people of Luzon, the largest island in the Philippines. They traditionally live in the mountain ranges, especially near volcanoes like Pinatubo. Their ancestral stories often speak of moving through dense forests and rivers. These narratives highlight their long history in the northern parts of the archipelago. Many Aeta groups have specific territories passed down through generations. These lands are not just property, they are central to their identity. Their presence in these highlands shows a continuous connection to the very first settled areas. Subgroups and regional diversity. The Aeta are not a single, uniform group. They have many subgroups, each with its own dialect and customs. You might hear of the Aeta, the Aeta Magbukan, or the Kankane. Each group has subtle differences in their history and way of life. For example, coastal Aeta groups might have different traditions than those living deep in the mountains. This diversity reflects how the Negrito people adapted to specific environments. It also shows the long history of their scattered settlements across Luzon. Aeta culture and adaptations. Traditional lifestyles and subsistence. For centuries, the Aeta lived off the land with incredible skill. They were master hunters, using bows and arrows to gathering wild roots, fruits, and honey was also a big part of their daily life. Many groups also practice Swidden agriculture, a way of farming where they clear small plots, grow crops, and then let the land rest. This way of life shows their deep knowledge of the natural world. They knew which plants were good for food or medicine. They understood the forest's rhythms, living in balance with their surroundings. Spiritual beliefs and practices. Aeta spiritual beliefs are deeply tied to nature. They practice animism, believing that spirits live in trees, rocks, rivers, and animals. These spirits guide their lives and protect their ancestral lands. Respect for nature is not just a belief. It is a way of life. Traditional rituals often involve ceremonies to honor spirits or ask for good harvests. These practices reflect a long-standing connection to the land and its unseen forces. Their ancient wisdom shows how they saw themselves as part of the natural world, not separate from it. Resilience and adaptation. The Aeta have faced many challenges throughout history. Outside groups sometimes pushed them from their lands. Despite this, they have shown amazing strength. They have adapted to new environments and tough social changes. When Mount Pinatubo erupted, many Aeta lost their homes. Yet, they found new ways to rebuild their lives, often with little help. Their endurance shows their deep roots and lasting presence in the Philippines. They continue to hold on to their traditions even when things get hard. The Ati and Mamanwa, Southern Indigenous Peoples. Ati ancestry and settlements in the Visayas. The Ati people are the original inhabitants of the Visayan Islands, especially Panay. Their history in this central part of the Philippines is very old. Oral traditions speak of their arrival long before other groups. They lived a simple life, moving across the islands. Their presence points to very early settlement patterns in the southern parts of the country. They thrived in these island environments, fishing and gathering. The Ati are a living link to the Visayas' first residents. Mamanwa roots in Mindanao. In northeastern Mindanao, you find the Mamanwa people. Archaeological findings support their very deep roots in this region. Their communities have been there for thousands of years. They were experts at living in the rainforests and coastal areas. The Mamanwa are known for their strong family ties and unique social structures. Their deep history in Mindanao marks them as among the island's earliest populations. They hold ancient knowledge of the land and its resources. Cultural heritage and societal contributions. This colorful event celebrates their historical presence and cultural identity. Though it has evolved over time, its roots are tied to the Ati people. The festival often involves participants painting themselves black, remembering the Ati. It shows how their original ways have influenced Filipino culture. Their vibrant customs continue to inspire local celebrations. Mamanwa societal structures and knowledge. The Mamanwa often live in small, close-knit groups. Their social organization centers around family and elders who hold great wisdom. They have vast knowledge of medicinal plants found in their forests. They also practice unique ecological ways that protect their environment. This traditional knowledge is important for preserving both their culture and the natural world. Their contributions to understanding local ecosystems are immense. They are true guardians of Mindanao's biodiversity, interconnections and shared indigenous traits. Different Negrito groups across the Philippines share common traits. Many live a hunter-gatherer lifestyle, deeply connected to nature. They often share similar animistic beliefs. Historically, they also interacted with later Austronesian arrivals, sometimes trading goods or knowledge. These interactions shaped the early social landscape of the Philippines. They show a complex web of relationships between diverse groups. The Negrito people stood as the foundational layer, influencing those who came after. Contemporary challenges and enduring legacies. Preserving identity and heritage. Today, Negrito communities work hard to keep their culture alive. They face many threats, from losing land to outside influences. But their spirit to preserve their heritage is strong. They teach their children their languages, traditions, and ancestral stories. Cultural revitalization programs. Many community-led programs help preserve Negrito culture. These groups teach old dances, songs, and traditional crafts. They also work to save their native languages, which are slowly disappearing. These efforts help younger generations connect with their past. Educational access and cultural preservation. Getting a good education is vital for Negrito children. But many face challenges, like faraway schools or not enough learning materials.
Black Filipinos, particularly the Negrito groups like the Aeta, Ati, and Mamanwa, are the very first people of this archipelago. Their origins stretch back thousands of years, making them the foundational layer of human life here. They were the pioneers who first made these islands their home, living off the land and adapting to its ways. The Aeta, Ati, and Mamanwa hold a remarkably rich culture. Their connection to the land runs deep, expressed through their spiritual beliefs, practices, and ancient wisdom. Their resilience is amazing as they continue to hold on to their identity despite countless challenges. We must recognize and respect these vital indigenous communities. Supporting their rights and cultural preservation efforts is crucial for all of us. Their history is not just their own, it is an integral part of the Philippines' past, present, and future.